Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. The subject today is marry the woman and not the peanut pie. But remember, this is always your live stream. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. There is a few things I want to talk about before we get into the topic. First of all, welcome to the NTZ crew. Thank y'all so much. Jacob Tanje. I see Michael Beach Life on here. Also, welcome to any of my viewers who will be watching this on replay. I know a lot of people can't make the live streams. Any new viewers and subscribers watching for the first time today. And of course, my regulars. I see 53 Shades Darker on here. Skeptical Sorcerer, Jacob Tanje. There he is. He says, I like pie. Well, today, man, it's going to be a long day for me. I'll be leaving, headed back to Dumaguete, then San Carlos City. I'll catch the bus around 12 noon today. It's going to be about an 8 or 9 hour ride. And I know I could wait till tomorrow and hold on, let me get Gabe's clothes and catch a flight and be in Cebu in 45 minutes. And then in 3 hours be in San Carlos City. But it's just something I choose to do. Remember that. What are you doing? Did you brush your teeth already? Hmm? Well then, brush your teeth. Remember, I tell you that you can see the Philippines. The only way you really gonna see the Philippines is in a car, on a bus, man, in a van. I just like to do it anyway. I'm not in any hurry. Hey, what's up, Kentucky? Tom, Butcher, what's up, man? There's Tita Cha, Inger, Mohammed, Yaya, Kamal. I see y'all. The peso is 57.12. Excellent. No matter what anybody says, that's an excellent um, rate. I know it's went down some, but hell, I'll take it, man. I've been over here when it was 41, guys. So take that 57 all day long. What's up, bud? Bobby Clean. He said, keep pushing. Love the video. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's John Gomez. Uh, hey, James. I wanted to talk about this. I had an interesting conversation with a gentleman last night, and he's a young guy, 43. And he asked me, he said, I'm going to be honest with you, Calvin, I'm going to bring a woman back. Of course, your anonymity's safe, brother. Don't worry about that. He said, is there any suggestions, anything that I should know? Thanks, Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie, for that super sticker. I really appreciate the support. And I just said, you know, be around her for as much as you can. It's a difference, because he was trying to vet the women online. He had a checklist of questions and stuff like that. I said, nothing beats face to face. We got to read the fine print, guys. It's a lot of details that we overlook, important details. Raise your hand if you're so excited whenever you go to the car lot to buy a car. And I'm not comparing women to cars, but listen to me. You're so excited to get the car, and then they bring the contract. All you want to do is sign. They'll have an X already where to sign, so you can get out of there and drive that car. You really don't know what's in those contracts. They're so complicated that we really need a lawyer there with us to read through all the nuances and all the, you're the buyer and he's the seller and all that stuff, man. But we don't do it. It's the same thing over here. It's no different. We need to read the fine print. All we're doing is signing on the dotted line. I don't care how many of you guys come over here and got married in 2 weeks. It's stupid. You're taking a risk, the biggest risk of all. You don't know who you're marrying. And we could have this conversation every day of the week. and twice on Sunday. And that's why I always bring it up. He's got an opportunity to meet with this woman face to face. I said, do it. He's over here now. I said, look, you know, every chance you get to see her in action, guys, there's a lot of dimensions to us as a person. Have you ever seen her angry? Have you ever seen her disappointed? How does she react to no when you tell her no? Because if you're over here for 2 weeks, you're not going to tell the woman no. You're going to tell her yes every chance you can, because you're trying to put across that good, you know, we only show the good in the beginning. So the topic is marry the woman, not the Pinay pie. And you know what I'm talking about. And I think that's what a lot of us are doing. And we're saying, I just deal with what's in the contract later, because it's surprises that's going to be in that contract. Some you can deal with and some you're not going to be able to handle, man. So it's best to try to see as much as you can in the beginning. Hey, what's up, Danny? So you made it to Thailand, man. That's a good thing, man. I'm glad you were able to get out of Japan, man. They had y'all locked down pretty good, brother. Thanks for all your support, man. All your well wishes and everything. Tita Cha says, Calvin, I walked that car a lot for 12 years, visited it, test drove it, and she is good. Yeah, we're not talking about the car. We're talking about the contract that we signed. We're not reading the details. We're not reading the fine print. See, do you even know what the woman looks like when she's lying and being deceitful? See, this is only things that you are going to know when you've been around her. You spent some time around her. Remember the tree, the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. Have you seen her family? How do they act? You know, I wrote some more stuff down here. Have you ever seen her when she's embarrassed, when she's afraid? Guys, we need to see this stuff. Off the cuff adventures with Jamie says, I was very disappointed about that one particular visit at your place. Just hateful, always. Anyways, I wouldn't be concerned, just bottom feeders. Yeah, and that's what I came up with, Jamie. He was just an ungrateful, you know, entitled American. And even though, you know, he said he was from Pakistan, he was, but he was born in California. And, you know, I love my California friends and subscribers, but man, y'all entitled, boy. California's like living in a whole different country over there in America. What's he saying? That can 95 is going to wear out. What are you talking about? John Gomez said, that's my pet peeve, trying to figure out the facial expressions and acting. Hope she ain't Academy Award winner. Yeah, but a lot of times they are. And that's what I was telling the guy. He said he had a list of questions that he was asking. I said, man, they know every question you're going to throw at them, and they know how to answer. But it's different when you boots on the ground over here and you actually see her in action, man. Y'all don't understand that. To some people over here, not all, just some, the West is like the promised land. And you just don't know how they're going to act once they get there. See, people get confused when they see my video. They say that I say, stop, don't bring your Filipino wife or girlfriend home. I wasn't saying don't do it. I'm telling you about the risk involved, guys. A lot of risk involved and risk that you should know about. And I was just giving you my boots on the ground experience, because some guy messaged me today. He said, yeah, I stopped watching your channel. You give too much advice. I said, yeah, to people who are asking for advice, by the way. And I had to remind him that my videos are about me. I know sometimes I come across like that, and I apologize, man, because I'm not an expert or know-it-all in the Philippines, but I'm giving you my boots on the ground experience. Now, who doesn't want to know the best hotels and Airbnbs to stay? Where not to go, the no-go zones and all that. See, they like that kind of advice. It's just when I start talking about relationships, that's what they're talking about. Okay, because What YouTube channel over in the Philippines worth any of their subscribers that's not giving some type of advice? Okay, but they know they're guilty. They've either already doing a lot of this stuff that I talk about that I've experienced, or they're going to do it. See? Hey, what's up, Papa Kiko? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Mr. Monbarase. Monbarase says never take them to America. I don't know, you know. What's up, Marcus? He said get a real wife. They're real. These are real women over here. But I think we just rush. We rush in, you know, we marry them for the wrong reasons. You know, James, and he's probably watching here now, my buddy, the masking tape genius. He doesn't know who he married. He'll tell you all day long, oh yeah, I'm married. We've been chatting for 2 years. I don't give a damn. You was only over here for 3 weeks. You don't know who you married. What gets the only thing that saves us is that most of the Filipinos that you're going to deal with over here, they're good people. They're not going to roll you because you're asking to be rolled when you come over here. You're asking to be scammed. And then when it happens, you want to blame the woman. No, you got to blame yourself. I was telling the guy last night, I said, every bad relationship that I've had, I've been in it. So to think that just replacing the woman is going to change anything, now I probably had to change myself. Take a look at, am I too demanding? Is my expectations too high? Whatever it is, but we got to marry the woman. I mean, you get to know this woman as much as you possibly can. There's some cultural differences. It's going to knock your socks off. It's going to piss you off. A lady called me yesterday, and your anonymity is safe, ma'am. And she said, oh, you know, I got a problem with you telling guys to meet more than one woman when they come over here. And I said, yeah, but it's okay for you to chat with 3 or 4 guys, but we're flying 8,000 miles away, man. We're not gonna put all our eggs in one basket and the basket's got a damn hole in it. I have to remind her that I don't know your boyfriend, whoever he is. And don't hold me accountable, you know, if he comes over here and he sees something else other than you. But I told her, I said, look, he got to get to know you. I said, you've been knowing him for 4 months or whatever it was. That's not long enough. I said, what happens when you do that tempo stuff that I don't deal with? That's a deal breaker for some men. But they're not going to see that right away. They're not going to see that on the 2-week initial trip over here. You'd be a fool to do tempo with a man that you just met like that because it's a deal breaker. Okay? Now here's Scott Brown. Nice. Thanks for the message. Scott, he said, I visited my girl twice already in the vow and found her to be quite real and sincere. But the takeaway I got is how shallow I am. Philippines can definitely humble me. Yeah. But remember, man, it's not enough time. I don't care how many times you got to keep on going and going and going back till you really see her in action. You don't want any surprises, Scott, because I know why you found her quite, let me use your words, real and sincere, because she put it on you, man, when you were over here. And that's why we marry a lot of them, because we don't know them, man. D. Hicks said, little man in the background saying to himself, I'm too young to be hearing about all this. Yeah, I've been down here bonding with him for almost 2 weeks, man. And I had to come here. You know, it was a bad flood here, especially where he was. And I just want to make sure that it was okay. He had everything. It's going to be tough me leaving, man, because he's lonely here, man. There's nobody really that. I'm so glad school opened back up. He's got some friends at school, but once he gets home, man, he's like in prison. That's what he told me. Yeah, it's still real life over here, but you can't meet, you can't come over here enough, really. at some point, you know, you got to take that risk, you know, but you want to at least vet her face to face, man. All this online stuff is not good. You know, it's all a risk. There's no guarantees, and everybody knows that. And I think that's what we need. I think that's what we're looking for is a guarantee, but there's no guarantee. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't believe me, when it goes bad over here, it goes bad. But when it goes good over here, you're not gonna get it any better. But when it goes bad, which is the reason why I share my life with you. It's not that, you know, like some guys I'll say, oh man, you broke every rule. That's right. Because I'm sharing it with you so you won't break the rules. So you don't come over here and get messed up like I did. 53 Shades Dark, I said, Cal, only the dudes that actually come over like me and a bunch of my brothers would know what's up. You must live it to know what it's like in the flesh. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's a difference with somebody who's watching me, who's never been over here. They're going to say, oh man, that guy, he gives a lot of advice from people who are asking for advice, guys. And by the way, what I give is suggestions. I'll never give you an advice. I'm telling you about my life, what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. If I could just help you to avoid a lot of the pitfalls, man, that I have over here, from just coming over here thinking that, oh, the Philippines is like everywhere else I visited, and it's no different. The women over here are no different than they are at home. Man, you got a lot to learn. Excuse me. Tita Cha says in Chicago, I personally have seen Filipino caregivers marry guys and dump them as soon as they get their citizenship. See, we don't know. It's hard to tell if you're only chatting with the woman online and came over here a couple of times to see her, how she's going to act, man, when she gets to America. I can only speak for America. The hair is going to be on fire, guys. Okay, that's the promised land for a lot of people over here. Not a lot, some people. And you just don't know how she's going to act. She's going to be perfect online and when you come over here first few times. But once that tempo hit, once you tell her no, once she sees you, the real you, because she's going to do something to piss you off, or you're going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed one day and she's going to run into the real you, then that's when you're going to see who you're with. Excuse me. All you're doing is screwing the girl. That's all you're doing. You can't, that's not a reason to marry nobody. Sergichi Land says the family knows he feels like that, yet I don't detect they are concerned. I don't think they really do. I don't think he really tells them. And it's normal for them the way that they're living, so they don't see anything out of the ordinary. But I do. Hey, Will, what's going on, brother? Hey, Mo, good morning, brother. Calvin, he says, your advice to me worked for me. Visit the Philippines and the right woman will fall into place, back to basics. Yeah. And see, you don't seem to be a guy in a hurry. We've got to learn from our mistakes, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, you're going to repeat them. You know, Scott Brown says, I've spent a month already with her, made all her family, which are pretty awesome. I'll be back in May next year and then make my final decision whether I want to marry her. I think you've already made the decision, Scott. See, what we have to do is be honest with ourselves. I mean, I think you've already made the decision, and I wish you the best. But I'm saying, you know, read the fine print, guys. You know, we come off that car lot with that car. We're so excited. We don't read the contract. You don't know what you're saying. You need a lawyer with you when you buy a car for real. And those loan papers, all them damn sheets, all they want you to do, they have a little piece of red tape that sign here, sign here. You're so in a damn hurry. And that's what we do. We're so excited. This new woman we've met, this beauty, man, we ready to drive her, you know, and then it's just like once that new car smell is gone, man, it gets bad if you've chosen the wrong one. The only thing that saves us is that the women that we end up with, they're good women. Because if anything goes wrong, you really need to point at yourself. You 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 didn't read the fine print, man. You know. Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate you, man. You know, John's been around probably since I had about 500 or 600 subscribers. And I'm just sharing with you. Okay, if I've never been to the Philippines and I see somebody on YouTube, I'm interested in coming. I'm like, wow, and this guy's sharing their life with me. I'm gonna try to absorb as much as I can. I'm not gonna agree 100% with him, but if he says something that I'm interested in, which I'm interested in meeting a woman over there, and he got some experience in that, maybe it can help me. Instead of me saying, well, you just chose the wrong one or something like that. Instead of saying, no, I didn't do that, I didn't do that, I didn't do that, I did that. Just take what you want and leave the rest. But you won't be able to say I'm lying. And if you come over here and you can show me where I'm lying, then do it. We're marrying these women for sex. We're marrying them for the intimacy. We're marrying them for the pussy. That's why you get down on one knee. You're proposing to the pussy. You're not proposing to the woman. Get to know these women over here. It's a lot of cultural differences, man, that's going to kick you in your behind when they show themselves, because they're going to show themselves. That fancy warranty you thought when you bought that new car, you're going to see it only covers the drivetrain, or what the hell a drivetrain is. You don't even know what the hell a drivetrain is. But you say, hey, well, I thought it was going to help my transmission. And you better get out there and buy you another transmission, fool. Hybrid says, hello, sir. What's going on with your eyebrow? I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Maybe, when you get to a certain age, your eyebrows start going crazy. One of my friends, well, actually, the first foreign I've ever met over here, we're friends on Facebook. He was serious. He said, did I know where he could get an eyebrow transplant? Really, dude? You better get that damn eyebrow pen like your Filipino wife does, and you get to working with that. He said, as a dog returns his vomit, a fool repeats his folly. And when it goes bad over here, guys, it goes bad, but y'all not listening to that. All you seeing is the sugary stuff. I'm going to give you the 360. I'm going to do some, Robert Dame, who was on here my last live stream. He said, Calvin, he said, we need some hope. He said, why don't you throw us a bone on your next video? And I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk about the good things, man. But I can't just talk about the good all the time, because when it goes good over here, you're not going to get it any better. All right? Especially as a man who still, has all his vital functions still working. But yeah, we don't want the truth, Jew. So I'm going to continue to share the nitty gritty with y'all, man. I'm not going to leave nothing out, but man, Frankie, what's going on? He said, love you, Cal. He said, hitting on the nail, make me sober, have a Filipino there and visited. Mo said, what's a drivetrain? Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're going to do. What's tempo? Because it'll drive you crazy. I won't deal with it. I promise you. I don't care how long I've been with a woman. I don't care how long I'm married. You pull that stuff on me, I'm packing up and I'm gone. That's a fact. But some of you guys have never experienced that, when they shut down and they won't talk to you and all that. I experienced it one time, but she wasn't a woman that I was really with. It was actually a woman that I had met years ago. She was from Tacloban, and she was a survivor of the of that Hurricane Yolanda. So she had a lot of PTSD going on, man. And we're going to the mall, And she just started crying and just wouldn't say nothing, man. I got out of the taxi. I gave her money to get to where she was going, man. I was gone. I ain't dealing with that. Yeah. See, the child said, I'm 59 years old. If I was a young man, I wouldn't marry a Filipino until I could afford to move there. And see, this is, well, sort of like what me and the guy was talking about last night. He said, Calvin, you know, I'm just not old enough. I'm not ready to move to the Philippines. He's 43, you know, and he's got a good job, you know, and he says he just wants a traditional Filipino woman. I'm saying, well, how are you going to know if she's traditional? You got to make more than one trip over here. You're going to have to do more than vet her online. It's just not going to, it's not enough. He says it's tempo uh, random. Not really. You see, because it's so many cultural differences, you're not even going to know when you piss her off. Marilyn tells me, see, Marilyn don't do the tempo, but she'll tell me, oh, the tone of my voice. Huh? What are you talking about? The tone of my voice. And that's something, you know, just something stupid. You might be going to the mall and you might look too long at a woman or something stupid like that. It's never anything life threatening, you know. It's always something petty like that. And then you say, hey, how you doing? And she won't say nothing. Oh, what, you know, what's for dinner? Won't say nothing. Just sit there like a damn stone. But yeah, guys, we need to marry the women over here. If you're going to get married, we think that we have to get married. You know, uh, I don't know why guys think when they come over here they got to get married. But the lady that she was adamant that she talked to me yesterday. This lady, she wanted to talk to me. She was upset about that. She said, "Don't worry, you know, I'm not going to bash you or anything." She said, "But," and she said her thing, and I said, "Look, man, my content is not for you because I know 100% of the time Filipinos are going to misinterpret what I'm saying. So it's okay for you to correspond with two or three men, but this man, it's not okay for him to come over here and meet two or three women. What's the difference? Why are you so sure that your judgment is so correct where his is not? You know, you want to be his only one, but yet you're hedging your bet. You got two other guys sitting over here. Well, let him do the same thing. See, no, he's sitting in the back. Now he wants to go back to America, and so he ain't learning nothing from me. But um, his mother's supposed to be coming to see him. I'm probably going to end up taking him back. You know, I know that for a fact. He said I need to find a beautiful Filipino where to start. But you already online, dude, already. So you know that. Remember, I'm not a matchmaker. See, because guys that get on here, they try to trip me up with that. I'm not a matchmaker. I never have been a matchmaker. You know, Marcus Simmons says, hey, bro, just test the dating scene and enjoy the Philippines. Kelvin Jones said, Calvin, I'll be 40 next year. What age range should I date when I come over next year? You know, I had a discussion with a friend of mine. I consider him a friend. He's over here now, a guy named Anthony Williams. He's in his 40s. Anytime you're in your 40s, man, you got to go in the 20s because they're a lot more mature than when I was 46. My wife, his mother was 24. And you wouldn't have known that there was a 22-year difference. You know, I wouldn't, you know, because when you start getting 30, man, you better be somewhere in your 50s or 60s. That's just what I'm seeing over here. That they're pretty damn set in their ways and stubborn and everything over here by the time they get 30. Yeah, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. He says my next question. Everybody come there to marry. I hope you don't. That's why I talk about more than just relationships, you know. But hell, 93% of my viewers are men, and 100% of you are coming over here. You're gonna, even if you don't have any intention, when you come over and see what's over here, you're gonna end up with somebody. But no, I tell them, man, see as much of the country as you possibly can, because that's going to be there. If nothing else is going to be there, that's going to be there. The opportunity for you to meet somebody and meet somebody nice is going to be here. But why would you concentrate all your time, effort, and money just on something that's going to be there? Yeah, yeah. It's safer. It is safer, Jew. Uh, from what I'm seeing, that's what me and this guy was talking about last night. I'm on the outside. I've been on the outside of America. Next month will be 4 years. And I'm looking in. I'm like, man, it's crazy over there. I mean, it really is crazy. I mean, the country is just split into, at the end of the day, whether you're Republican or Democrat, we're supposed to be on the same team, right? But we're not. They really are battling each other, fighting each other for control of the country, man. It's ugly. There's no free speech. They pick and choose who they want to destroy. And I tell you, man, I don't want to go over there. Not right now. Hey, Style is over 60. But the guy was talking about my video I made yesterday, those 5 words you never want to hear over here. Filipinos will roll out the red carpet for you guys, but even their patience runs thin. And I put the link to the video in my description if you didn't see it. This guy's not alone, man. You see this over and over and over here. We're entitled. We act like a bunch of whining babies when we come over here. We forget, and you see the video before that, that most people over here are doing the best they can just to survive. But we don't care. We come over here and bring that old wine and shit over here and say, look, man, you're in our country. I'm enforcing the law. And then all of a sudden, oh, he starts backing up because he knows the guy's getting ready to say, you know, lock his ass up and get him out of there. Believe it or not. But go back and watch that video and you see what I'm talking about. For it to get to that point, you've overstepped your boundary. You cross the line, you piss somebody off. You're not going to hear that. When you do, you know you've done something stupid. And that's a fact, man. Go watch that video. You'll see what I'm talking about. So that's the type of advice, if you want to call that advice, but that's just my experience over here. You know, you want to come over here, man, and just be quiet as a church mouse, really. They're going to give you the run of the place. Filipinos aren't going to bother you when you come over here. They're going to go on with their own lives like they normally do. They're not worried about you unless you do something wrong, unless you disrespect them or talk crazy, which we have a habit of doing. So break the habit before you get over here. We're so opinionated. It's none of your business what people are doing over here. I was in the bank the other day, and the man gives me a number 59. I'm sitting there waiting on 59. So what? Here comes a lady, walks right in there, walks right up to the lady, gives her check. Because see, they still have paper checks over here. You know, fills, you know, the deposit slip and everything out. Cashes the check, makes a deposit and leaves, man. And the lady's looking at me. I'm like, okay. It was a time when I would have said something about that, man, but I know better now. You know, I've got to have some patience in a situation like that. You know, they have their own way of doing things over here in their own time. And you better respect that, man. Or you're going to have a lot of trouble over here. Dusty Inc. says, I stopped buying cars years ago, Calvin. I put that money in my pocket now. And you're probably smart for doing that, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. We never read the fine print on these contracts. You don't know what you signed with that beautiful car you done drove off with. You're so happy, man. But then about 6 months, even less than that, you're like, when those damn payments kick in, you know, for some, I don't know how it works, but for some reason, your payments don't start till maybe 2 months later or something, you know, and you ride around, it's all shiny, people are looking. Then when the new car smell runs off and the payments and stuff start coming in, you have second thoughts, man. Well, this contract you're going to sign is even worse than that. You really need a lawyer before and after. Falcon Taki says, never touch a venomous snake by the tail. Always hold with care directly behind the head. Otherwise, you're bit. Yeah, hit the like button, man. I don't know why they don't hit that like button. But yeah, I know why we getting married over here, because a lot of guys, you know, like I said, when it's good, it's as good as it gets over here. You've probably never been treated the way they're going to treat you in that first 2 weeks. So you think, oh, I found a pot of gold, I'm going to marry her. But yet you don't see everything behind the damn curtain, because you know how they sit there, you know, on screen talking to you, and there's always a curtain behind them. Well, once you start marrying them and signing that visa, you're going to see what's behind that curtain. Hey, Gary, what's going on, brother? Yeah, man, you know, it's even funnier when you're on the outside looking in and you see how people, you know, on both sides, it don't really matter, you know. And now, you know, everybody's going at each other, you know, the Kyrie Irving thing. I won't get into that, man, but I'm just saying, you know, now you got, you know, people, you know, you see it like people are afraid to speak up, and the ones that are speaking up, they're bashing Kyrie, and it's just, you know, I'm like, come on, guys, you know, the man apologized. I mean, what else do you want? Is all I'm saying. Hey, Reginald Wallace, book from Manila, January 12th, Calvin. Uh, what's the say against rules? Meeting somebody I've been talking to for 2 years, several times a day. Feedback. Well, it doesn't mean anything. You know, it's what I was talking to the gentleman last night. He's an intelligent 43-year-old guy, still got all his wits about him, earns great money. You really don't learn a whole lot online, Reginald. You're going to see when you get here, and you're going to see, well, more than likely, you're going to say, hey, the 2 years was wasted. Even if, you know, when you come over here for 2 weeks, it's probably going to be good. But as things progress, your first relationship very seldom works over here, guys. I'm just telling you the truth. Hybrid 711 said Tampa, a lack of communication ended my marriage in the U.S. Yeah, see, but they're not going to listen to you, Hybrid 711, because we're all the exception. You're weak. Yeah, you're not like me. I'm different. Okay, not realizing that every bad relationship we've ever had, we were in it. But they're somehow different, and it's not going to happen to them. But everything they say they're not going to do, when they get over here, they end up doing it. Yeah, they go broke. 53 Shades Darker said, Cal, let's get with TJ and the meet and greet group. Rent out that big house again. Let's show the subscribers how great it is over there. I'm back in Vegas and I'm hating it. Missing paradise. Yeah. See, he knows what he's talking about, this guy, 53 Shades Darker. When it's good, you can't get it any better. I would be pressed to get it any better than when it's good over here. But when it's bad over here, guys, it's bad. And I'm telling you it's bad, because they're not going to give you the respect that they would give a Filipino man when they break up and different things like that. They take it personal, you know, and it's going to be ugly. Hey, what's up, Devon? Thanks for that email, man. You know, Mike Dawsonville said, getting involved with Filipino, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. It's a different culture. over there. You're not in Kansas anymore. Thanks, Mike. You know, and this is a guy who's come several times. He knows what he's talking about. It's almost to the point of, you know, saying, one guy said, he said on my comments, he said, don't get involved with him. He said, you're welcome. I wouldn't go that far, but I'm gonna tell you that it's different, man. It's not what you think it is. He said the peach mango pie is addicting. I always eat that when I go to Jollibee, but I know what you're talking about, and it is, and that's what we end up marrying. The surprises that come later, man, we're not ready for it. Oh yeah, yeah. 53 Shades Darker says, I forgot to tell you that them waffles with that syrup was on point there in Cebu. I know it was. The guy Daniel, I think he's back in America now. He just left this month. He told me about it. He said, Calvin, man, you know when we all went out that night, he said, Calvin, man, he said, it was so good, I ate there twice. You know, and I was like, let me try it out. So we went over there, man. I tell you, man, that damn waffles, they were the best I've had in a long, long time, man. I mean, they were delicious. I mean, they put, the Waffle House has nothing on these waffles. They're about this thick. And then, you know, they put the two big chicken breast, boneless chicken breasts on. They smother it with gravy. Then they give you this big thing of syrup on the side. It's delicious, man. Red Hot Mike said, Calvin, your thumbnail photos of those sweeties got me good. I thought you were going to have them on the live. No, but you know, I do. But see, when I do things like that, guys, I'm accused of human trafficking and exploiting Filipino women. So what I do is I help channels like the True Girls, Sharon Lapu Lapu, so that way y'all can go and enjoy them without me being around. Frankie says only two places you can't get divorced, Vatican and Philippines. Well, they can't get divorced. You can. But you can't get married again over here, I don't believe. You can get your divorce. I'm not really sure how that works, but I know that she, you know, because what I wanted to do was, even though me and my wife weren't together, I wanted her to help me to get the 13A. She said, no, because then I would have to get an annulment. Now, how she knew that, I don't know, because I tell you, that support group that's waiting over there, that's who's giving her all her information. That's probably why she hasn't given me my divorce. Somebody's talking to her over there. Somebody's in her ear over there. Probably said, hey, wait it out for 10 years and you can get part of his Social Security or whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to go back to America at some point anyway, either to take my son back or one of my daughters over there is acting a damn fool. And then when I get over there, I'll do it. Raymond Walker said, especially when you have to put everything in her name, you better be damn sure who she is over there. Yeah. See, you even talking about over here. I'm talking about when this guy wants to take his girl, he wants to get married and take her over there. And I'm like, well, you better know who you're dealing with. And we don't do it though. It's like this on the job training. You don't want that in a relationship, man. You coming over here, you're basically putting your life in her hands. You want to know whose hands your life is in. And you're not going to know that in 2 weeks. You know, have you seen her under pressure? Put her under some pressure and see how she acts. Because there's going to be pressure in a relationship and all that, man. We don't do it. You know, you say, gently tap the like button, guys. Yeah, thank y'all. Oh, okay, Jude. Thanks for stopping by, man. I know you're still in. What part of Africa are you in right now? And you know, how long does it take to get to know her? I don't know, but I know it takes longer than 2 weeks. I know it takes longer than 1 or 2 times you come over here and you think, oh, I know her. No, you don't. It's complicated, man. And he says even the Filipino piece says to never bring your Filipino back to the States. Well, you know, I mean, she's living a damn good life. She can say that. You know, she's living good. Hey, Julius Jackson, what's up? But see, a lot of times, you know, see the women over here. What's up, Freddie Sanders? And see, he's got his wife over there now. He's got a lot of surprises. He's still happy though. You know, he's one of those guys. He's still on his honeymoon. You know, because it takes a long time, man, before you really know what you got. Yeah, them first few years is gonna be good because this guy's watching me now. Like I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years and 4 years or 5 years. I'm good. Yeah, that's what you think. And I was with my wife for 8.5 years, man. You know, I didn't know it was gonna crumble like the way it did. If she didn't want to come over here, all she had to do was tell me, but I didn't know that. She didn't tell me she didn't want to come back. And how do you know that I know she don't want to come back? Because she hasn't been back in 2.5 years. Okay. And even though we got our son here, see, Neil Olson says, I learned my lesson. I met a woman in another country and she treated me like an absolute king. I immigrated her to the U.S. and all that king treatment ended as soon as the plane landed. Never again. You have to know who you're bringing over here. We want a guarantee. That's why when I don't give guys a guarantee, they get mad and they say, oh, you giving too much advice. Yeah, to people who want advice. And when it's not the advice you want, okay? And that's usually how that works. They want a guarantee. There is no guarantee. You know, but what you're doing, you know, we're marrying for the wrong reason. We're marrying these women for the wrong reason, man. Yeah. Hey, Sam, thanks for stopping by. He said, Cal, I'm just listening. Guys are not going to get it till they get it. Guys need to know one trip to the Philippines, guys, is not going to do it if it's their first time to the Philippines. Yeah. Even a few times, man. It's just so much that you're not going to know about her. It's just their culture. A lot of times they're just too bashful. They're not going to tell you. They're going to be afraid to tell you. They don't want to disappoint you no more than you want to disappoint them. So when you talk about their relationship background, they're not going to tell you everything. You know, a lot of these women, man, a lot of y'all's women, they don't like my channel because I'm letting you in on some things that they don't want you to know. It's like that lady called yesterday. She's a nice lady and everything. Nice looking woman, professional, you know, but, you know, she said I was giving her boyfriend some bad advice. No, I wasn't. You know, that's not true. I'm not giving him bad advice. It's okay for you to chat with 3 guys, but it's not okay for him. What makes you think that he's got this special power that he knows out of all the millions of women over here that you're the exact one for him? Hey, thanks, Digital Swag, for that super chat. He said, I'll be in Cebu soon. Hope to break bread with you, Cal. Your son is a spitting image of you. I'm taking all your advice from experienced boots on the ground perspective. Hey, thanks, man. You know, I don't even really look at it as advice. I'm sharing my experience with you. You know, like Sam Champion said, we're not going to get it until we get it. When you come over here, man, you're going to be blown away the first few times. This young, beautiful woman, she's straight out of your dreams, guys. I promise you that. I'm not lying. It's your wildest fantasy when you come over here and see it. Trust me when I tell you this. And it's going to be hard for you to really step out of that fantasy and take a real good look at this woman. You're not even going to, it's going to be so many red flags there, you're not even going to see them. All you're going to see is the pie. Yeah, yeah, you know, it's the game they play. Not only the game, but I'm just telling you guys about them. I'm telling you stuff about them that they're not going to tell you themselves. But this is a support group. This is a community, the same one that they've got all around the world. If we could just mimic that, man, we'd be off the chain. But we're not going to do it. My wife left here, man. Let me remind you that when she left here September the 6th, 2020, she had no job and she had no place to stay. It don't matter. They got that support group over there. Okay? And a lot of times they will even be the ones that say, don't worry, I'll introduce you to somebody over here. They do everything for them. And they co-sign their bullshit. Because it's always going to be your fault. They're never going to look at their side, man. I'm telling you what I know. And if anything I can say is going to help you moving forward, then that's what I'm trying to do, guys. Hey, Tall Barber, thanks for that super chat. He said, good morning, Cal. Your videos are definitely preparing me for my first visit to the Philippines. I can't thank you enough, sir. I salute you, Tony. And see, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. See, people have lost sight that my channel really is for the new man and woman who's never been here. Although these old dogs end up on my channel, you hard ankles, and they say, oh, the stuff you're saying is so basic, it's common sense. Yeah, because you've been over here 1,000 times, or you live here already. What about the man who's never been here before, when all this stuff is new to him, and the girlfriend experience and all that stuff, and, you know, this 2-week wonderland that he's getting ready to enter into? He knows nothing about that. He knows nothing about the games that they're going to play. Hey, Freddie Sanders, thanks for that super chat. Said my wife is working and contributing as my partner. Well, you know, hell, it's because that's you. You know you're going to put her to work. But I'm pretty sure, you know, if you came on here one time and gave us the nitty gritty and told us about some of the challenges that you faced bringing your woman over there, it would help. He said, you think South America is different from the Philippines? Absolutely. There's nothing like the Philippines. It's different, man. South America is different. And you'll see it, man. It's something so simple as, you know, if you go to, let's say you go to, my son likes Burger King. And if we do a takeout at Burger King, they're not going to put salt and pepper in your bag when you leave, okay? That's not part of their culture over here. So I'm used to having salt and pepper in there for my fries or whatever it is I order. Nowhere will you go over here where they put salt and pepper packs in your bag when you take it out. It's, you know, it's just little stuff like that. Now, what else is going to be different? 1,000 different things, and they're going to keep coming at you. But all you seeing is a beautiful young woman on the screen. That's all you're seeing. See, their game is on point. They know what to do. You know absolutely nothing about them. They know everything about you. Guess why? Because they talk amongst each other. They've got a support group. We don't have it. So when I talk among you, then you throw it back in my face. Oh, you're giving too much advice. Okay, well, come over here and get your damn head busted. These guys over here get their head busted. They won't come on the channel and tell you. They're embarrassed because they thought they were tough. They thought they knew everything like you do. They didn't realize how different it is. Ray Skilling. It says, bring your girl back to the U.S. is like shooting yourself on the foot because your toe hurts. It's only a matter of time before her support group turns her against you. But they don't know nothing about that support group. I'm the first one that really told you guys about the support group. People might have did it in their own way, but I gave it the nitty gritty on that, man. It's there, and you're gonna see him the first time you take her to the church. That's where they are. That's where it starts. That's where every month in every major city, because Filipinos, unless it's some probably in national city somewhere in California where they have their own cathedral, but most of the time they borrow the local cathedral. In Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm from, once a month, Filipinos got that place to worship. So once a month, you're going to take her there. She's going to meet everybody. They're going to bring her in the fold, and they're going to teach her everything she needs to know, just in case your relationship doesn't work, or just in case, she wants to leave your ass. Louis Hagenpont said, always trust this piece of advice. Never bring her to the States if you can't handle losing her and potentially everything you have worked for. Fact. Well, I know that we do have some protection. I don't think she's going to be privy to what you've already accumulated. I could be wrong. I'm not a divorce lawyer or anything like that. I check with my. Now, I think if she's with you for 5 years or something like that. But remember, we're part of the situation too. So if you haven't changed, then all you're doing is just exchanging pieces to a broke puzzle already. If you could be the problem, you could be the potential problem. Yeah, that support group, man, is a bad boy. And I have to tip my hat to Filipinos all over the world, wherever they are. They got their support group. They come around, they speak their language. You've been in America, man. I've done it so many times, every single time. When you're at the barbecue and the get together, they're speaking their language. They don't care that you can't understand it. And they're eating their foods the best they can because they're trying to reproduce Filipino foods with American ingredients, and it doesn't always work out, but they do the best they can. And man, they put it down and they become as tight as sisters. And these are strangers at one time. But you'll see the relationship get stronger and stronger and stronger, man, to the point where they don't even want to come back here. They'll start missing their family over there. I'm living it, man. "53 Shades Darker" says, I like the idea of keeping them honest. Going to America easily tainted and highly influenced by Western ways. Just my opinion. I'm going to be honest with you, man. You got to keep them honest. And the only way you're going to keep them honest is to keep yourself honest. If you come over here pants on fire, you're done, because they're going to give you that. They're going to give it to you any way you want it, whenever you want it, however you want it, guys, because they know what you want. That's our reputation over here. That we're chick boys, and and that's all we want is sex. That's the reputation, just like their reputation is gold diggers, scammers, and all they want is money and a visa. So when you come over here and you play right into what they expect, they're going to get you, man. They're going to get you. There's nothing wrong with being intimate and all that, but give it some time. You know what I'm saying? Before you better proofread that contract or have somebody proofread it for you. Hey, Sigma Black, he says, wait till they get introduced to Pinay jealousy. My girlfriend sent me a video of a Pinay singer. I told her that the singer had a lovely voice, and the girlfriend got mad over a compliment she agrees with. Yeah, see, man, you hit it on the nose. See, this is what I'm talking about. But we don't understand that. See, we don't understand all this little stuff that's going to come at us, Sigma Black. And it's going to come at you in waves. You be like, man, I never knew this. I never expected this. Because once they get over there, they're going to start getting stubborn, man. And nobody can be as stubborn as the Filipinos I've dealt with. That's what will drive you crazy. Man, they're stubborn, man. You can't reach them. See, I can't reach my wife, man. I don't even know her anymore. I can't reach. I can't tell her, look, our son is struggling over here. I can't reach her, man. And it's just It's just something I'm trying to tell you guys. When it goes bad over here, it goes bad, man. Hey, Hybrid 711, thanks for that super chase and thanks for sharing your experience with us. And that's really all I'm doing. This today is not about just bringing her to the Philippines. I mean, to America, because there's so many success stories, but there's so many stories that you will never hear because guys are not going to be honest. They're not going to tell you that they're having problems because they don't want to hear that I told you so from their friends, family, and strangers. So they'll stay in the relationship and they'll be unhappy, man. I've got friends like that. Freddie Sanders said, before you bring your wife to America from any country, you have to set expectations and boundaries. And see, that's where we come in, Freddie. That's where our problems, where we may be the problem. We don't set any boundaries. We don't. Our expectations are way up there, and when she doesn't reach them, then the wheels fall off. Because our expectations are high, man. They're too high for real. We need to bring them down a little bit. You're talking about women over here who they don't have any special powers, guys. We think they do. Remember, if they had them, they wouldn't waste them on our rusty ass. They would use them to improve their situation. But we give them special powers that they don't have. And once we realize, man, she's starting to act just like any other woman's going to act, we're disappointed. It can get quiet real quick, man. But when you come over here and you say, well, this is what I want. See, most of us don't know what we want. All we want is the pie. So, okay, she's going to say, here's the pie. Here's all the pie you get. You're going to have diabetes by the time I get done with you. Then when you get her over there, you even come over here and get married, and she get more, and it's more than just the pie that you're going to get. Now you're just disappointed. You're frustrated. Well, I didn't see this coming. It's that time. Says, remember, fellas, once you bring her to the U.S., you're responsible for her 10 years minimum. Read the documents you signed for them with immigration. We're not going to read them. We're just signing them. Thank you for bringing that up and reminding us. We will not read the fine print. A lot of them guys don't know what they done got into. And anybody comes over and say, oh, I know, I got a feeling, I know who I'm marrying, she's the right one. You don't know. You have no clue. Everybody says that. You don't know. Because when it's good, and it's a lot of guys watching now, I'll tell you, when it's good, it's good. It doesn't get any better than this. But when it's bad, it don't get no worse. I would be begging for my American wife sometimes, because at least she would argue with me. At least she would respond back and forth to me, and I could kind of figure out what she's thinking. You don't get that over here, man. That quiet shit drives me crazy. See, I've experienced Tampo, but after the fact, because she knew when she was with me, I wasn't going to deal with it. But now, I've got a choice to deal with it or not, because we're not together. Sam Champion said that Ray Skillings, bro, I don't necessarily agree with that. My wife has been in the U.S. for over 5 years now. She knows how to stay away from those backsliding Filipino gossipers. We still going strong. And yeah, man, what saves us, and Sam Champion's witness to this, is really we're fortunate that the women that we end up meeting, they're good women. But it's not because we've got some special power and we know which women to choose. We don't. We do everything wrong. Okay? We just get fortunate that majority of the women that you're going to meet are just good people. Because you're doing everything to be scammed, to be rolled, to be taken advantage of. It's just that the woman that you're with is not going to do it. But you stick your neck out there to be cut off. Yeah, that fine print is a mess. There's so many details in this contract, man. The guy brought up the sugar contract, Raymond Walker. He said, yeah, You better know who you're dealing with when you put everything in her name. It's just a risk that you take. And then somebody's gonna say, well, every relationship has a risk. Yeah, but we don't come as far. You don't come 8,000 miles for the risk over there that you get. Look at how much we put out there. We don't do as much, guys, to undergo the risk that we take when we come over here. We do a lot before we even get here, man. Yeah, he says in all ways, shapes, and forms. Yeah, it's true. I guess until she gets married, unless she gets married again, I don't even know how that would be, how would work out. Hey, Kamal, thanks for that super chat. He said nitty gritty as raw as sugar cane. Let me see what this guy says. Roger Blue says, of course, Pinays are jealous. Pinays are jealous. Show me a race or ethnicity you aren't. If they find support group 7,000 miles from home, you should encourage that. Uh, if you're on your game, you'll be okay. Well, see, we're not saying that the support group is wrong. If you listen to me, I tip my hat. It's a powerful support group. They're there for her, just in case, Roger. But no, jealousy over here is different. It's really different. I remember one time I got up and I said, man, I got to have my music to get me going throughout the day. Merle got mad at that. She was really mad about that. Oh, what about me? You don't need me to get you move. I said, listen, it's crazy like that. Yeah, that K1 visa. I like that K1 visa because you still get that 90-day look, whether you gonna sign on the dotted line or not. And even if she does run off, you didn't get married to her. See? But when you get married over here, now you're married and she comes over there, it's a whole different um, it's a whole different story. I'm just saying, I'm not saying don't get married. I'm saying marry the woman, guys. Don't marry the sex. I mean, because what happens in uh, 15 years when she's not the beauty queen that you marry? See, because the years are going to go by, man, whether you realize it or not, man. When I met my son's mother, she was 24. When I met my wife, she was 24. Hell, they're 37 and 38 now. The years are going to go by, guys, whether you realize it or not. And if that's all you married for, man, you're going to be in a big trouble. Well, that's a good question, Louise. He said, Calvin, is the Filipino jealousy just a fear of losing their meal ticket, or is it truly love? Either way it goes, man, it's both. It can be both. Because what y'all don't understand is how competitive it is over here for a good foreign man. For the Filipinos who are wanting to meet a good foreign man, the competition is fierce over here. And that's why you're going to get her best. You're going to get the best of her best performance over here. You're really not going to know who you're meeting because you're not going to see all of her dimensions. What's she going to like when you finally tell her no? What's she going to be like? How's she going to handle that when you lose your temper? We're not talking about her losing her, but when you lose your temper, how's she going to react under pressure? Like he's talking about jealousy. You want to see all of that. And then you'll have a choice to say, okay, do I really want to deal with this? When she's angry. But we don't give it time. James ran over here, married the woman. They have a baby, a beautiful baby son now. It looks like James. It's his baby. Um, but now he don't know what he's got for real. And he's going to bring her over there And let's hope that it works out. But that's the type of risk as a 50-something-year-old man we shouldn't be taking, man. This is something for a 20-something-year-old guy to be taking. We should know better, but we don't. It's that time says contract between you and the government states you will be responsible for her well-being, and not until she has proven she can sustain herself financially. 10 years, the government will release you from the agreement. I know I signed it. It's called the affidavit of support. And you even sign one when you do the CRBA for your kids. I did it twice for Gabe and Cooley, and I'm going to do it again for Booby. He said you won the dating lottery. It's tough, man. It's tough when you deal with the cultural differences. And, you know, Sam Champion, they're going strong for 5 years. And I hope, because he's a good guy, that he continues to go strong, you know. But 5 years with a Filipino, you're still on your honeymoon. You know, and until things go, you know, it's 5 years long enough, you know, I hope that they've seen the dimensions involved. Because a lot of us, man, I'm going to tell you something. Me and my wife never had an argument the whole time we were married. 8.5 years, we never had an argument, guys. It was only when she went back and then we start arguing, did things fall apart. So if we'd have never came over here, we'd still be living on that yes principle. Because they're easy to get along with when you're giving them what they want, and you're easy to get along with when she's giving you what you want. There's no reason to say no. But then when you're 8,000 miles away from her, it gets dicey, man. It gets different. Emotions run wild, man. Things are different, man. And you start seeing things that you didn't see. So we've had all kind of arguments after that. I mean, since then. But for those 8.5 years, we never had an argument. I never raised my voice at her. She never raised it at me. But I didn't see all the dimensions. See, I was fooled. We were still on our honeymoon. Jacob Tunde says, after the pie, then what? That's what I'm saying. We don't know. That's where the surprises are going to come. You know, then when the pressure hits, is she going to be there to help you fight your battle, or is she going to run? You don't know, because you don't know who you're laying next to. There's Geraldine Sanders. I think this is Freddie Sanders' wife. He says, all falls down on your woman's mindset and priorities, no matter what influence from other Pinays here in the USA. You'd be so lucky to have that one matches your goal and priority, Freddie's wife. Yeah. And I wish only the best for couples like you and Freddie. Y'all, you know, you're still on your honeymoon. I hope that you both made the right decision. But only time will tell that. The only time will tell that. I don't know. I think from what he told me, he only met you one time in person. So maybe, you know, you made that connection. You know, what's going to save him is majority of Filipinos are good women. They're not going to roll us over. They're going to chop off our neck. Did he stick his neck out there? He did. He absolutely did. There's no way he knew you well enough. But there's no guarantee anyway. It's a risk in every relationship. But did he stick his neck out there? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yeah, absolutely he did. If he only came over here and visited you one time, he better thank his lucky stars that you feel the way you feel right here. And this is facts right here, because I tell you guys that they're going to henpeck you. They want to henpeck you as part of their culture. He said Filipino jealousy is a way to henpeck and manipulate. Okay. Now, a guy messaged me yesterday. He said, he's over here now. He said, I can't even go to the sorry store, and she wants a full accounting. I said, well, why are you telling me when I've already told you that, you know, she's going to have a foot on your neck everywhere you go. She's holding on to that lottery ticket. Well, yeah, very correct. Very correct. So I see more disadvantages than advantages marrying anyone. I'm just saying that's a choice that we make. That's all it is. It's a choice that we make. If you're going to make that choice, just marry the woman. Know who you're marrying. I know why we're marrying a lot of guys over here. I know why a lot of guys coming over here because they heard that it's easy over here. You know, they see on YouTube that it's easy. They see these guys like me and nice looking women, and we're getting treated everywhere. But see, they don't see everything else. So I try to bring you to everything else, and y'all don't want it. Oh, he's giving too much advice. And then the women say, "Oh, you're telling, don't tell him that." So I'm like caught in the middle, but it's a choice you're gonna have to make. Marriage is a big deal, man, especially you marrying somebody from a different culture. I'm not saying don't get married. How can I tell you not to get married? I'm telling you, you better know who you're marrying. And once that new car smell is gone, you're gonna know what you got. Of course, she's gonna, when you come over here, she's gonna whip you. And that's what happens. That's the reason why we marry them. Because they whip us. A lot of us come over here with dry as a bone. We ain't had pussy since pussy had us. And she gonna give you all that pie that you can eat. And you're gonna marry her. And then on down the road, you're gonna be like, man, what have I gotten myself into? VV Focus said the Filipinos updated in the States were crazier than a bag of cats. I'm hoping the ones in the Philippines are more normal. And I'm not putting it on the Filipinos. I'm putting it on us. She's just who she is. But to be honest with you, what other reason would you marry a woman if you just came over here for 2 weeks? What other reason would you marry? What other reason would you do that other than the fact that she whipped you? Mr. Dacus, the navigator, said, your son looks a little bit like the rapper Cameron. They always tell him he's handsome, guapo. And they shocked that he speaks Tagalog and Messiah. Fortunate dude said, your son is lucky to have you sharing the nitty gritty of what you do in his community. Young men need that knowledge as soon as possible so they can thrive. Yeah, he asked me a lot of questions. That's one thing he does. Hey, Daddy, I got a question. He got the computer right in front of him, but he wants to hear it from me. And so he asked me 20 questions a day. And he asked me a question that hit me in. It was an uppercut today. He said, Daddy, why did we come to the Philippines? And I know why he asked me that. Because he's been made to believe that the reason why we're not together anymore is because of my decision to come here. But that's only a part of the story. And I explained that to him. But it was an uppercut. I know why he asked me that. He liked it over there. He liked the life that we were living. He wanted us to stay together. What child doesn't want that? But he's being led to believe that it's all my fault. And I'm just going to tell him the truth. That's my son. I love him. I'd do anything for him. But I'm not going to lie to him. It's two people in the relationship. I told him, I said, your mother didn't want to come back over here. I said, and if you don't think I'm lying, if you think I'm lying, then why hasn't she come back over here in 2.5 years to see her son, to check on her son? They just had a major flood here. I mean, I'm just going to be honest about it. Hey, Curtis Eugene Thomas, he said, Sunshine, guys are so desperate over here because there are no good women over here like over there. They would do anything to get a good woman. And I can say that some women over here would do anything to get a good foreign man. But that's no reason to get married right out of the gate. At least, come around her family, see how she really lives. Is she working over here? Is she able to take care of herself? And how is she taking care of herself? How is she handling life over here? That'll tell you a whole lot about a woman. See, when I met Marilyn, man, Marilyn's a hustler. I mean, really, she will go out there and get it. Even though it's not a lot, she's going to go out and get it. When her kids, okay, one of her daughters had meningitis, symptoms of meningitis, man. And Marilyn needed a lot of money. Marilyn went out there and got that. She didn't sit back and wasn't waiting. This is before she met me. See? So I've already seen what happens under pressure. She's got a history, but we're not even married. Would I be married if I wasn't married already? No, because it's too soon. I've been over here long enough to know. There's still some things that I need to see, but have I seen enough of her dimensions? Yeah, I have. I promise you I have. I've seen her under pressure. I've seen her angry. I've seen her disappointed, seen her happy. I've seen her satisfied, seen her jealous, you know. But I'm sure there's other things she's hiding from me. The tempo is there. They all have tempo. But because I already told her that if she ever shows that to me, if she ever does that to me, I'm gone, she's going to hold on to that. Now, once we get married, now she can bring it out. See, one world over, an ancient ancestor once said, even wise men cannot fathom the depth of a woman's smile. It's true. I was reading something where a guy says, God gave the woman eyelashes, but then she goes out and buys her own eyelashes. He gives her fingernails, but she makes her own fingernail. He gives her booty, but then she goes out and creates her own booty. He said, if God can't satisfy the woman, what makes you think you can satisfy the woman? And it's not really about satisfying the woman. What I'm saying is to know what you want. See, and don't take anything less than what it is you want. If she checks all the boxes and you say, okay, this is what I want, and I'm willing to deal with everything else that's coming along, then okay, then do that. But don't come over here and get whipped, guys. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the live stream is talking about, because she's going to whip you. She knows what you want, and she's going to give it to you. The lady I was talking to yesterday, she said, yeah, I'm giving it all to him. I've come out of, she says she's, what was her exact words? Really, I'm going to paraphrase is that she's done things that she normally wouldn't do. And I know what she's talking about. She's given her all to this man, okay? Because the stakes are high, man. They're high. And you have to know that. See, if somebody knew, like when I came over here, I was just like, wow, what in the world's happened? These are the greatest women in the world, because I had no idea what was over here. But I do know now that, yeah, your reputation is you're thirsty, you're sexually frustrated. So I'm going to turn you upside down. I'm going to turn you out when you get over here. And a lot of times that's all it takes. And you're ready to sign over everything. I've seen it over and over. That's all I'm telling you. There's no perfect relationship. That's a fact. But over here, when it's good, it's as good as you ever going to find it. And I'll argue with anybody about that. But you can increase the odds of it working out by being a little bit more patient than we are, by getting to know the woman a little bit better than what we get to know her. Some of you guys some of you guys watching right now haven't got a chance in hell. You're going to lose. You're going to lose when you get over it, no matter what We tell you, when you get off that plane and this young woman's waiting for you, the most beautiful woman you've ever seen with that soft, silky skin, perfect shape, and then she's going to utter those famous words. You know what those famous words are. You can do to me whatever you want. You're going to lose it. But it's a combination of he's no matter who he looks like, he's 50% mine and 50% her. Yeah, and that's all it is, King Jones. He said, I want to go and try. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't be a fool. I say it over and over. A lot of guys watching this, and almost 100% of the guys I've met over here, man, we're intelligent, man. We retired from the military. We got businesses. We got great jobs and everything like that. But when it comes to dealing with the women over here, man, we don't have a clue. All we have to do is practice that same discipline, that same intelligence that we did on our jobs in the military with our businesses when we come over here. But for some reason, we don't do it. The minute we get over here, we lose all of that for some reason. And it's because of a young woman that, we lose all our faculties. And then when we come to, we're already married. It's already too late. Or she's got the baby inside of her already. Well, it's too late then. We need to practice that stuff before we get over here, man. A guy that goes through the military, man, the military, I don't care what you did in the military. To stay in the military for 20 or 25, 30 years, man, it's not easy. It took some type of discipline. So you tell me you can't come over here and practice that same discipline when you're dealing with some woman, some stranger, by the way, and you already know what her expectations are. This woman yesterday, she wants to be the one for him. And she's going to do anything that she can to be the one for him. But I told her, I said, don't blame it on me. I don't know your boyfriend. Don't say I'm influencing him to come over here and see other women. I'm not. I'm saying to increase the odds of him finding the right one, he may have to deal with more than one woman, lady. Well, I can agree and I disagree on this. If I tell you that, hey, the odds of you making it across the street are going to be 1 in 1,000, or just like, what are you going to do it anyway? He says, all life is about sticking your neck out. If you roll the dice, go to PI, she rolling the dice if she hooks up with you, and especially if she go back to your country. Yeah, we're both rolling the dice, but we're saying you can increase your odds. You don't have to be a fool. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, when I step outside of this to go to the bus terminal, Roger, it's going to be a risk that I'm taking every time I wake up and leave my house. But you know, we're talking about don't be a damn fool. We're saying, okay, wow. He said, heck, I just saw a YouTuber whose Filipino wife just left him. Wow. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, Roger, right here. If you're in a hurry, do you think you're going to make better decisions than somebody who's sitting back, being a little bit more conservative? You can be too conservative. You can be too cautious, but which one you think is going to win? The one who just rushes out there and gets married. We're talking about marriage. Thank y'all so much for that's my Wi-Fi here is going out. I've got to get off here anyway. But thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders. Thank y'all for watching all my videos over the last couple of years, man. I'm gonna go and catch. It's gonna be a long day for me. I've got about a 9-hour bus ride ahead of me, then a 3-hour ferry ride, then a 4-hour bus ride to San Carlos City, man. So thank y'all so much. Take care. Stay safe. Stay COVID free. Whatever you do, guys, don't come over here and get whipped. That's all I'm saying. Get to know the woman a little bit. Let her get to know you a little bit. Okay? Try to read the fine print a little bit more. Look at more of her dimensions than just the sexual aspect of it. How she handle pressure. What happens when you lose your temper? When you tell her no? When she's disappointed, when she's angry, when she's jealous, when she's embarrassed, when she's frustrated. How's she going to handle all that, guys? Take care. Stay safe. Stay COVID free. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all got to get off.